Club Brugge against Rangers for a place in the Champions League. Billy Dodds, what's key for Rangers tonight?
Oh, they must be rock solid. I think if they lose a goal, they could really lose confidence as well. And then we saw how the floodgates opened even early in the game last week. So, as well, but they've got to be rock solid, as I say, and then just try and hit the counter-attack and play for that first goal. It's the only game plan you can have tonight, Kenny.
Yeah, I think, Ian, the concern is that they have given up so many chances in the games, and tonight they've got to really push, and you'd imagine score the first goal to have any real hope of going through this tie. They're going to leave an awful lot of space for a Club Brugge team that were, I thought, really impressive in that first leg.
Yeah, they've got a real pedigree. I mean, it was interesting to hear one of the supporters there saying about with the sign Eagleman from no man's land. I think that encapsulates the problems we've got in the west of Scotland. And no man's land like Kazakhstan and countries like that. It's crazy stuff for me. Morocco, who beat us 3-0 in the World Cup anyway. Listen, the common sense part of the high line he wants to play is it's not a coaching thing, it's a management thing. See, players with genuine pace, they're way easier to coach to play a high line than players without genuine pace. It's way easier to coach them like that. So in terms of tonight's game, Kenny, the first goal, obviously it's pretty obvious. If Rangers lose the first goal, it's going to be a horrid evening. Even if they can keep it tight, even 0-0 at half time, they're still in the tie. They could score the next goal and Bruce get panicky. On the evidence of last week, I would suggest that's probably not going to happen. But I do think they're still in the tie. But they've got to be tight. They've got to be strong. The players, if you're playing a high line, players have really got to take care of the ball. You need to have players that can take care of the ball. And they need to score first. It's pretty basic stuff. Yeah,
I think to be fair to Brian, he's talking about the team that Hamza Eagleman came from, a fairly low-level Moroccan team. I think that's the thing. And he bottom,
just like the team that beat Celtic.
Well, okay, but I think the guys were in agreement last night. Fantastic for them, the best result in their history. But I think the suggestion in the studio was, I don't know what you thought watching them, but I think the suggestion was they were not a good team.
I thought they were average, I watched them.
Well, they're the same kind of European coefficient as Crusaders, I think, in Northern Ireland.
Yeah. So, it's been like that for years, Tom. So whenever Celtic and Rangers draw a team from us, they automatically think, and listen, Celtic Rangers are global brands, there's no doubt about it, but they play in Scotland, and a lot of these teams, they've got their measure. They can beat them, and it's not a foregone conclusion. And that's a West of Scotland thing. They just think,
It was great recruitment from Rangers, to give Rangers some credit here. It was great recruitment from Rangers to get him, and a great bit of business to sell him on. Yeah. He's got Messi at the end, obviously, but they've got a lot of money for him. That's good.
How are you feeling about this one tonight? We were in here last night for the Celtic game that Ian's just referenced there. Celtic were really poor last night. It was a hugely disappointing night. Are we expecting similar this evening?
I just cannot see how Rangers, watching them, can keep a clean sheet, and I think they're going to have to. The goals they'll be given away, anytime the ball is delivered into their box, it's panic stations. They don't know what to do. And this is a good Bruges side. So if this good Bruges side turns up and plays anything like they played last week, this is over. I would argue it's already over, but it could be definitely over by half time. This is a good side. We saw what they were capable of in 20 minutes at Ibrox. That level, and Rangers won't be able to live with it. If they're falling off and if they're a bit complacent and Rangers find something from God knows where, maybe.
Which, to be fair, they have done before in various European nights away from home.
Yeah. Billy, just as the teams come out there, just one final point yourself. Oliver Antman had a terrific debut. He was great that night. Rangers played well at home to Victoria Pilsen. He's been more or less anonymous on the pitch since then. Is that a classic case, Billy, of perhaps a player not showing for the ball, losing confidence when the team's not playing well?
Sometimes just coming to a big club, the adrenaline. The first game he looked excellent, really direct, quick, explosive. And then he's kind of struggled a wee bit in the other games, but there's no doubt that I don't think Rangers played well in those games. Maybe get the ball to him a bit more and just feed him and tell him to get at his man. He needs to improve. He looks a decent player. He looks as if he could get something out of him, certainly pace wise. I don't know about intelligence wise in terms of football, like bumping it off a striker to get in behind, but he's very direct and very quick, and certainly there's definitely There's definitely attributes to his game that can help Rangers, but he has to be a bit more consistent like all wingers.
Well, the stage is set. Sounds like a terrific atmosphere out in Belgium. We can see a massive tifo there from the home fans. It's electric. Let's now sit back and enjoy the action. It's Club Brugge against Rangers for a place in the Champions League with Billy Dodds and Andrew Petrie.
Thank you, Kenny. Wait till you get to the away fans. The smoke billowing over them after a pyrotechnic display. Tens of red flares let off all at the same time. We'll see if that affects the kick-off. Anyway, welcome to the Jans Bredel Stadion. The storm already gathering over Russell Martin and Rangers. Can he break those clouds in Bruges? It's a monumental task ahead of his side tonight. 3-1 down on aggregate after the first leg. At times, you thought it could be plenty more. Club Brugge were carving their hosts apart at Ibrox. But at times in the second half, Rangers look like dragging themselves back into it over the last few years. It's been hard to know what Rangers side you are going to get. Tonight, simply put, needs to be one of their best ever European performances if they are to overturn this deficit. Their hosts, Club Brugge, are a seasoned Champions League outfit. The side may be young in places, but they've already got experience at Europeans' top table. And that's only been added to in the summer with multi-million-pound signings. Of course, Celtic's catastrophic failure last night will be in the minds of fans out there in the stands. This won't be about saving face for the Scottish sides in Europe. It will be about one-upping their nearest and dearest rivals ahead of that Old Firm on Sunday. Coefficient points, an enormous bag of cash, and bragging rights. They're all on offer tonight, but they sit at the top of a sizable mountain. Will Rangers find their hitman in Bruges, or will it be another botched job? Let's have a look at the teams. It's Jack Butland in the sticks with the same back four from the first leg. Max Aarons on the right, John Souttar and Nasser Giga in the middle, and Jayden McHoma on the left. He made his debut last week in this fixture and was one of the only players really to get pass marks. In midfield, it's a three of Joe Rothwell, Lyle Cameron and Tello Asgard. On the left wing, it's Jedi Gassam, Oliver Antman on the right, and Danilo up top. On the bench, Liam Kelly, Kieran Wright, James Tavernier again, Connor Barron, Cyril Dessers, who returns from injury, Mo Diamonde, Emmanuel Fernandez, Belgian international Nico Raskan, Tottenham loanee Mikey Moore, and youngsters Josh Gentles, Findlay Curtis and Xander Hutton. We are moments away from kick-off. The Bruges team the same as it was last week, with one exception up top, where Nicolo Tresoldi starts in place of Romeo Vermont, who picked up an injury after scoring that first goal. And it's Joe Rothwell who knocks it back to Jack Butland. Rangers in their white change kit, Club Brugge in their home blue and black stripes. The smoke really cascading around the Jans Bredel Stadion, just drifting over towards us now. It looks like a hard descending on the pitch, an ominous atmosphere, and it looks like a bit of a powder keg at the moment, this fixture. But can either of these sides strike early? That's what Rangers want to do. That's what Russell Martin said he wants to do. They need to find that first goal if they are to have any hope of Champions League progression tonight. At the moment, they're knocking the ball around the back. Nasser Giga with it inside his own box. McHoma up to Tello Asgard, trying to turn away from Onyedike. He's done just that. It's good play from Asgard. He's over the halfway line into the box, but that's one touch too many. And Club Brugge take it back, and it's Hans Vanaken, who was so impressive last week at Ibrox, who wins the ball back for the hosts, and they're playing it along their own 6-yard line, and Simon Mignolet took a risk there with the pass, not intercepted though by the Rangers man. Joaquin says nods on. Club Brugge threatening to break, but now it's Rangers. Oliver Antman on the right, trying to take on young Joaquin says. He's got options back behind him, and that's where he goes to Max Aarons out on the right hand side. He crosses it now, floats it to the back post. Gassam trying to get there. Saba with the touch, and Gassam picks up. He now squares his man up on the left touchline. Plays it inside to Asgard, just gets it back to McHoma. Now Rothwell to Cameron, plays the 1-2. And Rangers settled in possession once more. 2 minutes gone. Club Brugge 0, Rangers 0. So they've done better than last week already. Ant-Man with the ball on the right now. Rangers going from side to side. Cameron shifts it onto the right, crosses in. Danilo was nowhere near it though, and Club Brugge able to clear. And now they threaten a counter as well. Carlos Forbes races onto this through ball. He's got the legs. He beats Mekoma, who takes him out. That will be a free kick, and that will be an early card for Jaden Mekoma. With only 2.5 minutes gone, that is an awfully long tightrope for him to walk. Carlos Forbes with pace to burn. He was in behind, and Mekoma, who marked him pretty well last week, it must be said, was always second best there. And Billy, that's awfully early to get a booking against Carlos Forbes.
And he knocked it in towards the goal. I thought the ref might have looked at it, and I'm glad he didn't, to say that there was a goal scoring opportunity there. But I was watching the shape again. We've talked about that philosophy. Rangers started the game well, two centre halves in the box. Bruges nick it. They hit the diagonal. We saw that race last week so many times, Forbes and Mekoma, and Forbes on that occasion won it. And Rangers were caught again, just as we were talking to Kenny at the start of the programme about how they're going to play this high line. They were done straight away.
Well, it's Club Brugge with the free kick right on the corner of the box on the right hand side. It's whipped across, but maybe a bit of miscommunication there. Christos Solis with it. He fired it to the back post, but there was no Club Brugge players near it, and Rangers survived that early scare.
I'm not sure what he was saying there, Andrew. We're right above that. I mean, he's such a good position. Don't put as much pace on it, just shape it in between the zonal line and the goalkeeper and see what you get. But he absolutely bazookaed it really too far, miles out the pitch. Solis was expect a lot more from him.
Certainly do. He was one of the fantastic players in that first half, really, for Club Brugge. Looked so threatening throughout. Former player at Norwich City, got a move there when he was just a teenager. Didn't quite work out for him there, but he's rebuilt, and now he's arguably Club Brugge's biggest goal-scoring threat. He was their top scorer last season, and he just kind of floats about. He's on the left-hand side at the moment, and it's Club Brugge with the ball. Joaquin Says, the left-back, has it now. Solis making the run in front of him, and it comes to the Greek. Says continues the run. He's got the ball. He'll cross to the front post. Big chance! And it's an early goal again for Club Brugge. They had to get that early strike, and that's exactly what they've done. And it's Nicolo Tresoldi with the goal. Comes across the front post. It's a low header, and he bullets it past Jack Butland. And everything Russell Martin spoke about in that press conference about coming out and attacking and getting that early goal, it's all gone to pot after just 5 minutes in Bruges.
Yeah, it's a brilliantly worked goal from Bruges, but far too easy. And I'm watching Ziga pull Mekoma in time after time. He gets too narrow at times, and he's that busy organising. He doesn't get set up to mark the striker, Tresoldi. And then when the cross comes in, it's just such an easy one. Just stoop down, diving header, and Bruges go ahead with really their first attempt on goal. It was so poor defensively from Rangers.
It's Groundhog Day again for Rangers. Another early goal conceded, another slow start for Russell Martin's side. They now trail by 3 goals again on aggregate. It's so difficult, maybe impossible to see a way back now.
You know, the boys were talking at the start of the programme, Ian and Tom and Kenny, and I was thinking, they were asking about how Rangers are going to go about this, try and get the first goal, but I was more interested as well to see how Bruges was handled, because we saw them step off it last week, and whether they would try and manage this game, but they haven't. They've got through that little couple of minutes, and then suddenly they've just hit Rangers with their first attack.
But they have conceded a free kick here, about 25 yards out. It was Danilo who just nipped in ahead of the defender, got the touch on the ball, and was then taken out. So a big chance here for Rangers to try and hit back almost instantly. It's Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0 at the moment. 6.5 minutes gone here at the Jan Bredel Stadion, and it's Tello Asgard who's going to take this free kick. Of course, James Tavernier on the bench. He would be the normal set piece taker from this kind of range, but it's going to be Asgard with it as Simon Mignolet arranges his wall. It's a tall wall as well that Asgard's
Russell
got
hit the post, didn't he, from this position last week?
He absolutely did in the first half. It's Asgard with it. That was not nearly as close as the Joe Rothwell effort. curled high and wide over. And you'd have to imagine if you're Joe Rothwell, you're thinking, why am I not getting a go there?
Yeah, I don't think I'll get another go, Asgard. I think Rothwell will be on the next one, that is for sure.
So a big chance there for Rangers, gifted to them by their hosts, and it's blown, and it remains 1-0 to the hosts here in Belgium. Rangers' task, monumental, and it's gone long again, and this is a big chance, and Max Aarons could be in a world of trouble, and Rangers are down to 10 after 7.5 minutes. It's going from bad to worse for Rangers.
Just caught again over the top, the foot racing, and he's got himself in a bad position, and he just tugs on. The referee has no other option but to send him off, and Max Aarons' Rangers career just goes from bad to worse, and I mean, it's just defensively all over the place, really is.
It's a simple ball through, and Max Aarons has a fistful of the Club Brugge attackers' jersey. There was absolutely no doubt in the referee's mind. It's as clear a red card as you're ever going to see. We thought it was going to be a bruising night at Ibrox. We knew it was a bruising night at Ibrox after the first 20 minutes. This could be even worse, Billy. Rangers in a vulnerable position. In Club Brugge now, this could be any scoreline they want here.
Yeah, but you know what? It's damage limitation. That's where Rangers are at. They need to just try and keep it at 1-0, try and sneak a draw out this game. They ain't going through, but it could go the other way, and that's the worrying thing, because if Bruges fancy this and they get plenty of movement, they keep the intensity up, you would fancy them to get another couple of goals.
And I'm looking at Russell Martin down on the touchline. He had his hands in his pockets there. He's talking to one of his assistants now. I think he said last week that in the first half, when things go wrong so early, I think he said there's nothing he can really do at that point. And he's in deep conversation as Club Brugge knock the ball around. The atmosphere cranked up. The Club Brugge fans delighted with the start they've made here. What will Russell Martin be thinking? Everything that they've discussed in the last couple of days has already gone wrong. And there's going to be a change. James Tavernier is going to come on. He's already been called back to the Rangers bench. So after 9.5 minutes, Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0, and they are down to 10 men. We thought last week was bad. This could be even worse as Club Brugge continue to just knock the ball around. At the moment, Oliver Antman has dropped into the right back position, and the ball is across on that left-hand side now. Rangers look so frail.
If they were close in the tie, if there was a goal in it, you would think maybe they would go a 3 at the back, but I just don't. They must be thinking now, if we kind of play 3 and play a bit open and try to get the next goal, that there's space all over the pitch, we could get done with 3 or 4 goals here. So I'll be interested to see where Tavernier goes. If he goes into a back 3 in that right hand side, maybe they would take Antman off. I don't know. I'm waiting to see how they keep that back 4 and just try and shut up shop.
I was looking around Ibrox last week when it was 3-0 after 20 minutes, and the place was shell-shocked. I mean, Rangers looked shell-shocked again, and Carlos Forbes has the ball now. He's running right at the Rangers backline. He's right the way through, but he gets his shot wrong. He was off balance as he hit it, but you saw the threat of the Club Brugge number 9 there.
Oh, he's paced the burning, and he's at that Rangers defence, and I'll tell you, if he had a right foot at all, I think his left foot looked at that, not unless it's the old one where your standing foot touches the ball and he just mishits it. But Solis was in. If he gets that fizzed across goal, Solis has got a tap in, so Rangers get away with one. There you go, Antman off, as I said, Tavernier on.
And it's brutal for Oliver Antman, the Finnish winger. He was doing the press conference yesterday, and he was admitting quite openly that he feels he's not had the best start to life at Rangers. Unsurprising perhaps given the form, but he did have a good debut against Victoria Pilsen, but it's just gone awry, and he's not getting the chance to put that right tonight. He's off as Rangers are in recovery mode. James Tavernier on after Max Aarons' early red card. 1-0 down after almost 12 minutes. It's just incredible to see this Rangers side capitulate so early again. It's a horrendous habit that they've gotten themselves into, and they can't seem to shake it as the ball goes out from that Rangers goal kick.
You've got to analyse the goal, and I'm sure the boys in the back should have will do. I mean, Bruges didn't do anything fancy. They got the ball on the left hand side, made a couple of passes, and then they were allowed to just put the cross in. But Rangers hadn't organised that front post area and picked up the striker Trizoldi, and it was too easy.
Trizoldi lays it off to Solis, who gets the cross in now. John Suter, an important head on that, as Joaquin says, leans into Danilo, who was back there. It's Lyle Cameron who's able to clear away, and Bruges will mop up in their own half. I should say, of course, that goal, Billy, coming down that right hand side that Max Aarons was occupying when he was still on the pitch as well.
I think I watched the Newcastle game the other night, and the 10 men, they were unbelievably good, and they did kind of play a 4-3-2, and I think he's gone that way. It looks as if they're trying to keep two up front, and Gassam and Danilo, and then just keep the three midfielders, Asgard, Rothwell and Cameron. They've got some shift to do and get that back four in place. So they're trying to get back in it while not losing another goal, but it's going to be a tough ask.
And just at that moment, Club Brugge were playing with a front six almost, as the right back Kyriana Saba had come right up the pitch. I think they smell blood here, Club Brugge. They know this could be a very comfortable night. They could just sit back now. They don't look content to do that as Forbes tries to play it down the line. Jaden Mekhoma, of course, already booked as well. He blocks the ball. It goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Saba will take. He's instructed to just throw it back to Hans Vanaken, the Club Brugge club captain, wearing the number 20 in the captain's armband, a rangy midfielder who had so much time and space at Ibrox, and he's going to have time and space again tonight, as Rangers are down to 10 men in the early stages of this Champions League playoff tie. The ball chipped towards Nicolo Trizoldi in the box. He tries, I think that was a shot, it's way over the bar. Billy, we were talking about Nicolo Trizoldi and his impact at Ibrox in the second half. It was limited, albeit Club Brugge maybe took their foot off the gas a little. You said, well, he's going to score a hat-trick tonight. We've just cursed him. Well, he's already got that goal.
Yeah, I didn't think he had his best game at Ibrox when he come on, but as I said, he'll probably score tonight, and he already has. But it's more about the Bruges just manage it and enjoy the ball now, or do they really go for the jugular and really get at Rangers and try and score a right few goals? It's worrying times. Rangers have got to just try and stay in the game, keep the ball, and try and keep this score line down, just to look forward to Sunday with a bit of optimism in terms of confidence, all the buzzwords that go with football, because it's such an important stage for Rangers in terms of where they are, how they're building as a club and a team, where Russell Martin wants them to be, and even looking as far as your next game. Make sure getting into the Celtic game you're not taking a hiding tonight.
Yeah, Celtic up next at Ibrox on Sunday, then Hearts also at Ibrox, and then the Premier Sports Cup quarter-final against Hibs also at Ibrox. So those next three games all on their home turf, and if it's a really damaging result tonight, you worry what that atmosphere is going to be like at Ibrox over the next couple of games, as Club Brugge continue to knock the ball around. This time they go down the left. Joaquin Says comes inside and just plays it back to Jonas Spaliers. Out now to Kyriana Saba. Carlos Forbes with the ball. He looks to square up Mekhoma, just goes inside this time, back to Rafael Onyediko, the orchestrator in the midfield, the metronome for Club Brugge. And now they go down the left. They've worked that overload. Says has a bit of space. It comes to him now. He tries to whip that ball to the front post. This time it's deflected and just drops into the hands of Jack Butland. But it was a very similar move to the one that created that first goal. And again, Rangers not really alive to it.
No, but there's a reason why they're getting down that left side with a bit more ease. There was no excuse for the goal, because they just never get set properly, Rangers, and it was too easy to get down there. The cross was too easy, and Trizoldi just unmarked and able to stoop and knock it in the net. It's going to be more open now, obviously, with Rangers down to 10, and space is going to be found by the Bruges team. It's whether Rangers can just keep them out and stop them scoring more.
Rangers are trying to keep the ball at the moment. Club Brugge pushing them under a real press there, but they've just about gotten out of it. It's James Tavernier with the ball, plays it into the middle of the pitch where Danilo is really tracked back. He's almost between his two centre halves. John Suter stood next to him, calling for a bit of calm, as the ball now comes to Lyle Cameron, and Rangers think about encroaching over that halfway line. They've not done it very often since conceding that early goal. 17 minutes gone. Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0. 4-1 on aggregate as Jedi Gassam has the ball on the edge of the centre circle in that Club Brugge half now. It's James Tavernier into Lyle Cameron, making himself busy. The ball back with Meg Homa. Rangers again just crowded out and forced backwards by Club Brugge, and it's all the way back to Jack Butland in the D of his own box. Well, this won't be an encouraging stat for any Rangers fans holding out any hope. I don't think there will be many of them, but just in case. Club Brugge lost 5 games at home last season. 2 of those came in the Champions League. 3-0 to Borussia Dortmund, 3-1 to Aston Villa. This is a fortress for them. But having to defend here as James Tavernier got up the pitch, but he's had the ball taken off him. And now Kyriana Saba, the right back, has it, and he just knocks it inside. It's played over to Joaquin Seys. James Tavernier has just about gotten back into his right back position, and Club Brugge just didn't work that quickly enough. There might have been a chance had they got the ball over to that left hand side of the pitch a little quicker. Instead they're coming down the right, and Forbes has a bit of room to run it. Mekhoma skips inside on the left foot, plays it back to Onyedika, over to Hans Vanaken, who has a bit of space on the edge of the box. He hesitates and then knocks it back, and Rangers have every man camped on the edge of their own box now as Club Brugge knock it around. Joaquin Seys, a bit more room inside to Solis. Tries the 1-2 with Tresoldi. Lovely flick, comes back to him, and he'll have another go. Jack Butland, big save. He claws the ball away from the feet of Christos Solis, who had taken a mesmeric touch over the defender. He then fluffed his lines, but the ball stuck at his feet. He tried to just work it and push it below Jack Butland, but it's a big save from the Rangers goalkeeper, and he saves any further embarrassment.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Solis initially, then got a bit of fortune and ended up missing a chance. Really good save from Jack Butland, but they just slow the game down, keep the possession, nice bit of passing, in suddenly it's just a little 1-2 and they're through. And as I say, Solis to Tresoldi, the little flick, and then he miss-hits a shot, he gets a second bite at it, but Jack Butland does ever so well to get his body there and get it away.
You might have heard a little ooh around the ground there. That was because Nasser Giga slightly overhit a back pass to Jack Butland. He was very briefly scrambling. Surely there's not going to be anything like that tonight as the ball comes back to Jack Butland again.
And the evidence I've seen over the 2 games, anything could happen, really. I kind of feel myself when I'm commentating here, wincing that there's a mistake coming again.
The ball with Jedi Gassam. He takes a touch away from Mekala. This is good from Rangers for the very first time in this match. Danilo up to the edge of the box, the ball on his left foot, he cuts back inside. Club Brugge have done well to get bodies back. There's no width in this Rangers attack as James Tavernier tries to float the ball over to Danilo. It's Kyriana Saba, the right back. He was very composed there under pressure from Danilo. He hooks the ball away eventually after chesting it down in his own box. Rangers with a bit of pressure here. Can they make it count? Can they try and claw something back? They've got the ball on the halfway line now. John Suter striding and then just coming back, thinks better of it. Tavernier knocks it to Giga. 20 minutes gone. Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0. Mekhoma trying to get away from Forbes. It's good defending though from the Portuguese winger, and he wins the free kick. He was fouled by Mekhoma, who was desperate in his attempt to try and win the ball back. Some early frustrations coming out for Rangers. I mentioned Russell Martin talking about mentality. It's a whole different kind of mentality. They have to show now a real togetherness if they are to come away from this with any sort of pride still intact. But Club Brugge on the attack again. It's a slower build-up. Vanaken just knocks it back to Spiliers in the centre circle. Out to Forbes, who's got a bit more room again. He fancies a run at Mekhoma, then just cuts inside. Plays the 1-2 with Onyedika. But Onyedika goes back to Saba instead. Now it's with Forbes, a little 1-2 again. And again, Rangers have every man behind the ball. Bruges, Club Brugge, so confident in it, just waiting, probing. There's a shot from distance off the bar. Well, that's the confidence of Club Brugge. I think that's Christos Solis with the shot from about 30 yards. He absolutely rocketed the ball, and it crashed back off the crossbar. That would have been sensational The attack's still on here. Joaquin says inside, lots of room for Tresoldi on the left foot. He cuts it across. Solis mishits, comes back to Forbes. Butland with the save. The pressure relentless from Club Brugge. They want another. Forbes on the right foot, cuts it back. There's room for Solis. He gets it out from under his feet and the shot is blocked. He goes down, no free kick, and Rangers might be able to get this away. Jerry Gassam. Well, that was another couple of huge opportunities for Club Brugge. They're not making any meal about this. They want more. They smell blood, and Rangers on the ropes badly here in Belgium.
Well, let's go to the first one, the strike. I mean, this is the way they're going to do it. It's going to be nice, slow play, popping it about, trying to lure Rangers out of position, and then just a little like explosion of pace or a pass. But they didn't even on that occasion. It's just pass, nice and slow. It's 8-9 passes into Solis. Suddenly he just takes one step forward and unleashes a shot that's swerving, moving all over the place. Butland's flailing. He's just watching it crash off the crossbar. Then he gets it again, and Forbes this time they work it across the box. He comes in, he hits the left foot, or maybe should have gone far corner. Goes near post. Brilliant save from Butland to keep them in it.
And Club Brugge on the attack again. The ball on the left-hand side. Solis has it on the corner of the box. He just works it back. Again, the hosts happy to just knock the ball around. They know they've got the man advantage. They know they've got the space. They know that they have so much more confidence than their visitors. And Spiliers has it now. It's a clip ball over to the left again. Joaquin says with it. It comes back to Mechelen. The ball goes out for a Rangers throw on the far side. The pressure just relenting ever so slightly, but this Bruges crowd applauding here in the 23rd minute. They're happy with what they've seen so far. There's going to be a little break here. Well, Jack Butland's gone down. He's called the referee across. Is it a problem with his face, maybe? Maybe he took a head knock that we've not seen there. The physio's coming on now, and I think Rangers, more than anything, will just be happy to take a breather, try and get their breath back, and try and get some semblance of reality. Make sure the ground below their feet is still there, because it feels like they're falling. They're falling and falling. It's only 1-0 at the moment, but down to 10 men, with Club Brugge knocking it around the way they are, this could be a really, really painful night for Russell Martin, in a series of painful nights for him.
I think they'll be grateful for this break and just try and keep on breaking the game up, try and keep it respectable. He'll get a word with his players as well, try to get them more organised in that formation, what he's expecting out of it. Just making sure they're managing this game through. Jack Butland thankfully okay as well. Even the physios were taking their time coming on, because they realise this has just got to be slowed down, because you don't want to run up a cricket score, to be quite honest with you.
They have to manage this. They have to try and keep the score down. I think at this stage victory is almost certainly beyond their grip. 25 minutes gone. Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0. 3 goals behind on aggregate in Club Brugge. Free-flowing in attack. That's a phenomenal ball out to Carlos Forbes on the right from Solis. He's gone on the outside this time. He gets to the byline. He cuts it back. It hits off Nasser Giga. It's behind for a corner. The Club Brugge fans in front of us applaud again. They're liking what they're seeing from Carlos Forbes.
Yeah, he's a flying machine. He's so quick. Magoma's quick as well. Magoma, you can see he's not had a lot of football. For me, he's a young lad. You can see he's got pace, he's got attributes, but he really goes far too narrow to start with and leaves himself a lot to do. Time he gets out, Forbes is at him and beats him easily. You can just see he's got a bit of inexperience there, Magoma, even though he's quick.
Club Brugge work the corner short. Saba whips it across. John Suter had to get the foot there, had to make a good clearance, because that could have really gone anywhere there, but it's gone over his own crossbar, high over his own crossbar. It will be another Club Brugge corner just down in front of us, and we saw obviously they scored their second goal at Ibrox from a corner as well. That one was a worked move that found Jonas Spiliers, who is completely unmarked on the edge of the box.
It's a set up, yeah, it's a zonal set up with a 3 marking. It leaves the 2 edge of the box men spare.
Solis this time whipped into the middle. Mechelen with the header. Jack Butland with the save. Always looked comfortable to get that Jack Butland. There wasn't quite enough pace and power on the hand there from Brandon Mekela as the ball comes in the middle of the pitch to Danilo. It was a big touch, but he regains control of the ball. Can Rangers regain any semblance of control in this game? They have the ball now. Jaden Meghoma and Nasser Giga on it. They are knocking it around again. It's back to Jack Butland, who's taking any kind of tempo and pace out of this game to try and make sure that Rangers do not inflict any more damage upon themselves. It was Asgard who lost the ball there. Tresoldi was lurking, but Rangers managed to clean it up, and it comes back to James Tavernier now. He has to run for the ball, then fires the pass to Lyle Cameron. Sent to Rothwell on the turn, just knocks it back to John Suter. He plays it up the middle to Asgard. It was a ball and more hope than anything else, and it certainly didn't have any accuracy. And Vanaken has it now. He's under pressure from Joe Rothwell, but he was always quite content to just throw the shoulder, throw the dummy, and then just knock it back to his keeper, Simon Mignolet, who has the ball now. 28 minutes gone, Club Brugge 1, Rangers 0.
Just the one dummy. I thought it was 6 dummies there. Joe Rothwell trying to put some pressure on him, but he's, I said, the first leg, Vanaken's our best player, and you can see it. He's just so composed on the ball.
He's just launched a massive diagonal over to Carlos Forbes. He is an unbelievably gifted player technically, Hans Vanaken, and a huge fan favourite around these parts. The club captain, over 500 appearances to his name, as Club Brugge rose back to the top of Belgian football. He led the way. He leads the way again tonight as they look certain now to qualify for another Champions League proper. As James Tavernier picks off a pass and back heels to Lyle Cameron. It was a risky decision, and it comes to Club Brugge. Solis urged to shoot. He gets it onto the right now, just lays it off. This could still be a chance for Stankovic over the bar. Jack Butland quite happy to watch that one sail over, and again he just takes his time going behind his net to collect the ball and then just chuck it back to the ball boy and wait for Nasser Giga to take this short goal kick. But another decent Club Brugge chance there, and it all came from that risky pass from James Tavernier.
Yeah, it was the back heel from him that took him and Cameron out of the game. That's why he got strikes away.
And this could be another chance for Joaquin Says. He's up to the edge of the box, lays it off to Forbes. Brugge looking dangerous. He back heels to Onyedika, tries to cut it across. Meghoma blocks. It's another corner, and again this time it's Jack Butland who holds up a hand of apology, because it's his pass that is loose now. And Rangers at 6s and 7s, nothing has gone right for them tonight. Almost half an hour gone, they're still 1-0 down.
That's the bit I'm telling you where I win's at, because they're down to 10 men. They've not got as many options, because obviously Aarons is off. They're still trying to pass from the back. They do that to give it away, and yet Brugge got yet another opportunity.
They work the corner shot short. Joaquin Says it's blocked by Tello Asgard. It's behind for another corner, and it's interesting, the body language of Asgard there. As soon as that ball bounced off his shin, he was down, he was frustrated. He's torn the tape off his ankles as Club Brugge work it short again. Again it comes to Joaquin Says, now out to Solis, work to Saba, tries to take the touch away from Gassam, but it's Brugge who still have the ball. Vanaken almost working it to Solis, so intricate in the build-up, but it almost always finds the Club Brugge man. Vanaken slips it behind to Saba. Gassam back there in defence. His clearance is really poor though, and it's going to drop to Vanaken. Brilliant ball to Stankovic. Brilliant save, Jack Butland. That might be the pick of the bunch. He looks to have taken a sore one in doing so as well. That ball looked destined for the top corner, but for Jack Butland with the diving Superman-esque save to keep Rangers, I say in this, they're 4-1 down on aggregate, but to keep them in it on the night.
I said the same. It's just to try and stop it being embarrassing. Again, they give it away. Gassam did it well initially, gives it away. Vanaken just rolls at the edge of the box, and Stankovic curls a beauty, but brilliant save from Butland.
The ball in, Vanaken with the header! There's the second for Club Brugge, and it's Captain Fantastic himself, Hans Vanaken. This time the corner whipped in, and he rose, the giant of Club Brugge, to nod the ball into the corner. Jack Butland couldn't get near it. He's slow to pick himself up. Rangers dejected, devoid of life here in Belgium. thinks in Europe, and Russell Martin. He has got so much work to do. The size of the task on his hands, enormous. And I'm not sure he's quite getting to grips with it.
Yeah, you just fear. You fear because they're really just enjoying possession. They look as if they could get goals at any point just by upping the tempo because they're popping the ball about. They get the corner. It's that outswinger again. We've spoken about Vanaken, whether they're zonal or not. There's nobody near him. He rises and just plants a header into the far corner.
He's such a threat, Hans Vanaken. Almost 150 goals now for Club Brugge. He scored against Real Madrid in the Champions League. He's done it all at this club. And he is making their path to the Champions League proper that bit more comfortable. The sailing has been smooth for them throughout. And the ball's just come to him in the middle of his own half, over his shoulder. He volleys a left-footed pass out to the left-hand side. He makes it look so easy. And it's night and day as compared to what this Rangers team are offering up to those almost 2,000 travelling fans. I hope they've enjoyed themselves today, because they've not enjoyed the last half hour. It's been brutal watching for the travelling fans in Belgium. As Club Brugge knock the ball about again. I don't know if the home fans have ever had it so easy on a European night here. Rangers offering no sort of fight at all. Of course, they are down to 10 men, but they've been completely outschooled and outclassed, and it's another Club Brugge corner. Again, Carlos Forbes making the darting run. Jaden Meghoma just getting a toe to the ball. And this could be 3 here for Club Brugge if Rangers aren't careful.
Yeah, you do worry, there's no doubt. I mean, every time they get a corner, they watch something, they like to roll it short because they know they've got a man up in possession as well. But even the last corner they just played in, they still want it. Here we go again.
Solis with the ball in. Oh, it could still come to Tresoldi. It ripples the side netting for a split second. It looked like that had gone in. I think James Tavernier got a block to it. Rangers had cleared the initial cross, but I think it actually bounced off Lyle Cameron's head to come to Tresoldi. It almost sums up just how bad it's been for Rangers tonight. They can't do bad for good. And the Club Brugge fans on their feet, jubilant, as this corner from the other side now, from the far side, is worked short. It comes to... No, it doesn't come to Joaquin Says. Far too much on that pass. It's a Rangers goal kick. But the gulf in quality between these two sides. I know that Max Aarons got sent off early on, but it's so reminiscent of what we saw last week at Ibrox, Billy.
They're making it look, because of the man, they've got a man advantage so easy, and you can see even that one, that's a work corner. They roll it short, and the edge man who's not picked up the closest one, he makes a little diagonal run 15 yards inside the box, and they're trying to get that third man running, and that pass through him, it was just overhit. It was really well worked, and Rangers just got to concentrate for what's left in this game, or it could get really embarrassing.
Well, I suppose we saw their set-piece threat as well at Ibrox. That was when Rangers had 11 men. I'll get back to that, as there could be another chance for Vanaken on the volley off the bar. That would have been incredible. The ball to the right from Joaquin Says, picked out Hans Vanaken perfectly, and he caught it sweet as a nut. But this time it rattles the woodwork. That would have been spectacular. It would have been a third on the night for Club Brugge. It would have been 6-1 on aggregate. This could be anything Club Brugge want it to be at this stage.
They make it look so easy because they've got so much quality. Says, as you said, down the left hand side, hits the diagonal, it's floated beautifully, and Vanaken, who is a class act, catches it sweet on the volley. Butland's beaten, and it crashes off the crossbar yet again.
Just to go back to that set piece point though, Billy, when we saw Rangers at full strength with 11 men, Club Brugge's set-piece plays were so dangerous all last week. They're dangerous again tonight. Is that a problem that Rangers have defending those set-pieces, or is it just a fantastic skill that Club Brugge have in their arsenal?
They've done their homework in the Rangers set-up. There we go.
They've got a chance again. Carlos Forbes in behind, whips it low. Nasser Giga with a strong block, but the chance still on. Vanaken creeps into the box, tries to play the low cross to the front post. Again, though, it's just come back to Club Brugge. Rangers defending again, camped inside their own box. Saba with the ball across. John Suter is the man he picks out. There was Christos Solis there, but it was Suter who cleared again for the throw. And again, Club Brugge relentless in their pressure. Vanaken sweeping the ball across to Joaquin Says on the left-hand side. It's Christos Solis who has it now. James Tavernier scurrying to get back to defend. Solis on the right foot, whips it to the back post. Jack Butland tips it behind for a corner. I don't think he had to get that touch to the ball. I think it was going behind for a goal kick. Maybe didn't have the shout though.
Magoma didn't speak to him. He's right beside him. That's the inexperience again, because it was going miles over. Jack Butland didn't have to touch. Magoma's right beside him, doesn't speak. He does the touch, but this team, as I say, they have quality. They've already looked at whether it's set pieces, whether it's cutting Rangers open. They get inside runs where they just slip little 5-yard passes. Vanaken just wants on the ball all the time. I mean, it's you hate to say it, but it's a joy to watch at times, and how they keep the ball. It's a lesson even against when Rangers had their full quota.
Solis whips in. There's the header from Brandon Mekala, and that was just maybe a yard wide of Jack Butland's right hand post. It feels like whenever Club Brugge come forward, they could score here. And Rangers, they're not just struggling to get anything from this tie, they're struggling to get out of their own half at times. They've done it this time though. Danilo with the ball on the left hand side, trying to take it up to the edge of the Club Brugge box. He tries the shot, it deflects. Tello Asgard was lurking at the back post. It will be a Rangers corner. Just after I said that, curse of the commentator, they've now got a chance to try and find a goal. It won't get them back into this tie. This tie is effectively gone 5-1 on aggregate, but just to give them a crumb of comfort, some consolation, something to cling on to, a bit of dignity really here as Joe Rothwell prepares to take this out-swinging corner from the right-hand side. He's got options in the middle. It's whipped in and it's headed away by Club Brugge out to Jerry Gassam. And it's Club Brugge who win the ball back. There could be a counter here. They're still in their own half at the moment, but Vanaken has options. It's straight through the middle for Christos Solis. Mekoma's back, Solis onto the right foot. He was off balance, the ball always coming away from him. He was leaning back and the ball over the bar. But again, Club Brugge from defence to attack in a matter of seconds. Solis leading the way. And another chance for 3-0 for Club Brugge.
Yeah, that time Rangers weren't set up, because to be fair to them, it's a corner and they've got men forward. It's their best chance of maybe getting an attempting goal, but it get done as soon as they nick it and they make passes. And it's Vanaken again with that through ball. And Solis in possession, could have rolled Forbes at the end, because once he cuts in, he tries to curl it, but it was miles over the crossbar, but could have just fed Forbes and he could maybe have stuck it in the net. But it shows you, even corners for Rangers, they have to be careful, because how quickly Bruges and the quality they've got can hurt them on the break.
The ball back with Joaquin Says just outside his own area. Rangers playing now for damage limitation more than anything else. 2-0 down on the night in Bruges after 40 minutes, 5-1 down on aggregate. Really, there's only ever been one winner in this tie. This has been one of the most bruising nights in Rangers' European history. Undone by that Max Aarons red card so early on, as Forbes slips the ball to Saba. He tries to find Trizaldi. It could come to Joaquin Says. Brilliant save. Butland says on the follow-up. That is 3-0 for Club Brugge. For Rangers, the nightmare continues. They cannot wake up from this horrendous dream. It's so easy for Club Brugge. This time they come down the right, the ball whipped to the back post. Butland makes the save at first, but Joaquin Says follows it up quickly. And Club Brugge are completely outclassing Rangers tonight.
Yeah, down the wide right this time, but I'm going to talk about Rangers in a minute with young Makoma. But the ball across again, they all miss it, and Says pops it in the net. 3-0. As we said, it could be anything. Rangers defending, if I'm Magoma, I'm telling Giga, he is pulling that young lad in so much to mark his man at times. and it's incredible how narrow he is with that goal. He's standing next to Giga, really, he's helping him kind of pick up his man, and then he has to try and get out to stop that cross coming in, because it's 2v1, well, it's not even, it's two going down the wide area with ease. So brilliantly played from Bruges to get the third goal. I'm telling you, Magoma, the young lad, is getting bullied about by Giga, and I'd be telling Giga, you just do your own job, that's for sure. But he's that young, he probably doesn't want to have a pop at him.
The ball now with Joaquin Says again, and from the edge of their own box, Club Brugge launching the attack. Solis has made the run. Says finds him now. He's up against Tavernier. Forbes is making the run at the back post, but this time Jack Butland is able to hold on to the ball. This has been so damaging for Rangers, not just in terms of the scoreline, but any confidence that they still had, any confidence that Russell Martin had tried to instill in them from that second 45 at Ibrox, where they technically won 1-0 in the second half. It's evaporated, it's gone, as Jedi Gassam tries to latch onto a loose ball in the Club Brugge half. It's not come off. Rangers just look so fragile, and they're going into an Old Firm on Sunday with both sides really looking for a bit of confidence. Celtic badly hurt by that loss last night out in Kazakhstan, but Rangers just as damaged, just as bruised. How does Russell Martin pick them up from this? They've looked a beaten, a spent force for almost all of the first leg and for all of the second so far, as Club Brugge come down the left again. Joaquin Says knocks it back to Christos Solis. There's a bit of room for Stankovic. Rothwell trying to close down. It's Forbes out on the right hand side of the box again. He takes a big touch on the left, keeps the ball, knocks it to Vanaken, into Stankovic. Club Brugge toying with Rangers now as Saba is picked out on the right hand side. Forbes has room, lays it off to Onyedika. After you, the ball comes into Says! 4-0 now for Club Brugge. It gets better and better for the hosts. Rangers are falling apart. They have no answer. They are being torn to shreds by Club Brugge. It's a second for Joaquin Says, a fourth for the hosts. 7-1 on aggregate. Rangers need this night to end. They need it to end quickly, because it's just going to get worse.
They just always pick the right pass and the right cross, and eventually they're working it round the edge of the box, and they just chip a ball to the back post, and it says he's still making the runs even though he's a fullback, and meets it flush on the volley and just sends it way beyond Jack Butler. And it's getting painful, and I feel as if there's a lot more pain to come second half. It's not over yet.
It's not just painful, it's humiliating for this Rangers side. They were down to 10 men early on after Max Aarons' red card. There's 3 minutes of added time. The Rangers players out there, I've never seen a team more desperate for the dressing room.
I agree, and you can understand why. They just, there's a lot of inexperience out in that pitch. There's a bit of organisation as well. They've tried to still have a go and keep it rock solid, but this team have got too much quality. When they've tried to go the 4-3-2, now they're going a 4-4-1 just to try and make it even more solid and try and not leak any more goals, because as I said, you just feel as if the second half could be really painful.
It's Club Brugge with the ball again. Vanaken again with the long diagonal ball. Can Club Brugge find a fifth before half time? Currently 7-1 on aggregate. The ball out to Carlos Forbes on the right again. Vanaken trying to pick out a man in the middle. There's a free man. They can't make it 5. Alexander Stankovic. You almost can't believe it's happening again, but it is. It's unfolding in front of the Rangers fans' eyes. Nasser Giga down on his haunches in the middle. They are going to need dragged off this field. If this was a boxing match, it would have been called a while ago.
It is 5-0 to Club Brugge before half-time, 8-1 on aggregate. Rangers not just desperate for the half-time whistle, desperate for the full-time whistle. Well, we'll go to the goal again with the quality of Vanaken, best player, plenty of room, but just picks out the run as well. And then Stankovic still making those runs off the ball. They are not letting up whatsoever. Just races into the box unmarked from midfield, and it's a fine header to put them 5 up. They have got so much quality, but Rangers just look all over the place. They really do. This is going to be a long next 45 minutes, I'll tell you.
And the ball there just chipped into the hands of Simon Mignolet.
It was Jack Butland that hit it, and it was the first shot on target, and I think the Bruges fans are now mocking the Rangers fans by saying let the old Ole went up, and not a nice night to be here and witness this as a Scottish football fan, because they're getting ripped apart.
And I'm just looking at Rangers' history in Europe, and I'm looking not into that distant past at the 7-1 scoreline against Liverpool in the Champions League a few years ago. Club Brugge in behind again, Sabas cross, this time picks out Jack Butland. We'll be delving into the history books at half-time, I'm sure, as the German referee blows his half-time whistle. Club Brugge lauded from the pitch at the break. It has been one of their finest outings in Europe. It has been quite the opposite for Rangers. They have been tortured here. The away fans still in their seats at the moment. They may think better of it in the second half if it gets any worse. After only 5 minutes, Nicolo Tresoldi put Club Brugge ahead. It was a repeat of what happened back in Glasgow. Club Brugge taking the early lead. That first goal so vital in this game, and it was Club Brugge who got it. Max Aarons then making Rangers' night that much harder with the red card, pulling down the last man. He had a fistful of the Club Brugge attacker's jersey, and it wasn't going to get any easier from there. It was heavy blow after heavy blow. Rangers on the canvas at that point, and Hans Vanaken made it 2-0 after 32 minutes. Heading in the corner, Joaquin Sezin got his first of the night, a rebound at the back post after 41 minutes. He got a second 4 minutes later to make it 4-0 to Club Brugge. It was just brutal, it was humiliating, and then they made it 5. Alexander Stankovic picked out in the middle, his header past Butland. Rangers humiliated and outclassed here in Belgium. At half-time, Club Brugge 5, Rangers 0.
Rangers in the UEFA Champions League playoff round.
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland. This is our BBC.
It's a dry day ahead of us.
It can take us anywhere.
I hear we're going on the beach.
Raise questions.
So let's try and join all the dots.
Bring us down to earth.
Floating in a spacesuit.
We can share it with others.
Joining us live at the Royal Albert Hall.
Raising billions. Join millions of people.
Other creatures are also listening.
Building our future.
The BBC has put £5 billion into the economy.
There's a BBC for each of us. Funded by all of us. This is our BBC.
You're tuned into Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. We are witnessing something quite incredible in Belgium this evening. I don't think anyone thought Rangers had any real hope of clawing this one back tonight, given the gulf in class between the two sides in Glasgow last midweek. Ian McCall, Tom English alongside me in the studio. I think Andrew called it humiliating, outclassed. What else can you add to that, Tom English? This has been a horror show for Rangers.
Yeah, and even before the red card, this was a shocking Rangers performance. The red card is after 8 minutes. They're 1-0 down. They're playing against a very good team, but this Rangers team, this Rangers manager is clueless. He's just not up to it. And we had a conversation beforehand about what the owners would do, and I'm saying, look, we can't second guess them because we don't know them, but their track record at Leeds was to give Daniel Farke time, and I suspected that they would give Russell Martin time, but this is a performance that buys him no time. In fact, accelerates his exit. You can't ignore this. this is screaming that this guy is not good enough. He's a fast talker, but there's no substance to it. And I know they're playing against a good team with 10 men, but they've conceded 5. They've conceded the same types of goals that they've been conceding all season. Free headers in the box. This is just Bruges. They've done this against Dundee. They've done it against domestic opposition. They did it against Alloa. Free header, goal against Alloa. So let's not get carried away that only good teams can do this to Rangers. Every team can do this against Rangers. And I just think now he is in mortal danger. If the owners of the club are switched on here, this manager is in mortal danger. No matter how kind of charismatic he might be one-on-one with them, they probably need to end this now, because this is.
You mean potentially before the game at the weekend?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. But this
is humiliating.
But it's a total humiliation.
That's an unbelievable. I mean, that pass is. The guy's 5 yards off his own byline
for the red card.
And he's just launched. I mean, but is it a good pass or is it a launch forward? The covering is just absolutely.
Look at Max Aarons there. He takes the easy way out. He pulls the jersey, and he knows by pulling the jersey he's getting a red card. It's football cowardice. Is what it is.
I was going to ask this before the game, Ian, but I think it's still relevant now. So Max Aarons, he's clearly struggling for confidence, right? As a manager, you've got a decision to make, particularly when it's your own signing. You stick with him and you watch potentially that confidence drop and drop and drop. He costs you points, he costs you games. But I guess the counter to that is you take him out and the confidence drops even further. Managing a situation like that isn't easy, but everyone, I'm not saying we can see a red card coming to him, but you can see weaknesses in this guy's game.
Yeah, you can. I mean, the way you get your confidence back, though, is if you get left out, is you go back to training and you work your socks off for 3-4 weeks. Now, at a club like Rangers, maybe they go on or Rangers or Celtic, or the way it used to be, maybe they go on a big long winning run and he doesn't get back in the team. But the thing for me about the guy, they were strong words from Tom there, and I'm not sure they're entirely inaccurate, to be perfectly honest.
I know it's tough for you. Some of
the goals that Rangers lost, I mean, the first and fourth goal, for example, Gassam and Antman, you'll never get a better example of ball watching and laziness. Antman at the first goal just left the guy. I mean, of course, Suter's got to deepen a wee bit better. I think Shiga's got to get closer. I mean, the fourth goal, you can see it very, very clearly. Gassam, he's just staring at the ball when the guy
just
in here. Run. I mean, it's really basic stuff. I think some of the goals, they haven't been good. I think the sending off is pivotal, but Tom's right, even before the sending off. But they lost 3 goals in the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yep.
They look so weak
41, 45 and 45 plus 2.
So the red card is 1-0, the tie's over, right? 1-0. Down, 4-1 down on aggregate.
Hit the woodwork twice, Tom, as you said.
Hit the woodwork twice, and Butler's made a number of good saves. So it could be 7, it could be 8 at half time. It could be. But what has Russell Martin done to stop the flow of blood here at 1-0?
The camera flashed to him, I think it was the fourth goal, and he just looked stunned. I didn't see an awful lot of action from him. He was just standing on the touchline. I think you can only imagine what's going through his head. You can only imagine what's going through that guy's head right now. Billy Dodge, you're out there. Can you believe what you're watching from this Rangers team?
I can't. I mean, I knew there was fragility there. I knew, obviously, there was mental issues, as I said, when I come on the BBC programme at the start of the season. And it's played out, but I think the manager, Tom and Ian, are right. He's got to do his bit, and the tie was gone, and then you go 4-3-2, and it left the wide areas as well. Yes, they have got the quality, and some of their play has been incredible. Some of their crosses, absolutely pinpoint headers, runs off the ball. I think you've got to realise where you are in the game and where you are in the tie, and just say, right, this is, as I said it in the commentary, damage limitation. We had to suffer it twice with Rangers when we were there. sending off Bilbao for nearly the full game, 10 men, Kenny, just go and manage the situation.
It's taking
also
personal
Aberdeen
responsibility, Dodge, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
because you've got to protect your team, Collie, exactly. And we did at Aberdeen when we were down to 10 men, we were down 2-0, but we managed it, we got a 2-2 draw out it. I think sometimes you've just got to try and make sure you do the right thing for the team, and I think tonight the right thing was make sure we're gone, the tie's gone, make sure it's maybe a 1 or 2-0 and we get out of here and there's no real confidence lost. But I think 4-3-2, and then he's changed it now to a 4-4-1. Can he left him wide open, and in my word, Bruges took advantage of it.
Yeah, we're just watching reruns of the goals in here, Ian. It's quite incredible, you'd have to say, to watch some of the defending. Even just one of the goals there, Giga was pushed off the ball just too easily at the front.
Yeah,
he's a terrible defender.
For one of the goals as well, Lyle Cameron has just dropped his runner. So even if you can analyse every game and every goal, and you can pick faults and how you could prevent it. Sometimes people, teams scored good goals, but there's three that was just basically all it was men switching off and letting runners run off them. I'm amazed how vulnerable they look to a bog standard cross into the box. Now I've got to say, I used to take corners. Dodgy will tell you, I used to take a bad corner. There's a couple of corners that went in there. They're just bog standard. There wasn't any huge pace on it. It was in a good area. Rangers had 4 or 5 guys round the ball. The other guy was just more determined and managed to head it into the net.
Tom, sorry, can I ask you something? Right, the fourth goal, I'm right, we're this end of the pitch and we're right. I think the big boy Giga is pulling Megoma and
they're
so
over-covering the set, definitely.
And I know you were saying that Gassam switched off. Yep, get that, take that. But I think the young boy's getting bullied by him. There was a spell when I'm thinking he's actually picking up for a split second. He's picking up Giga's man.
Well, just watch it, Billy. We're just watching it right now. Ian, talk us through it.
Just watching the fourth goal. I mean, in the build-up, you can see actually Gassam is basically watching the guy crossing the ball while his opponent is actually run round the other side of him and then got in front of him.
But Giga's all over the place, isn't he?
Oh, he's all over the place, yeah. I mean, but that's another box standard cross. It's a good ball in the box into a good area, but look at the depth of there's no line there. The Rangers defence, there's not a line.
The thing is, you're trying to build something at Rangers Football Club.
When there's a guy,
when there's a guy,
very good. No, when there's a guy, and I don't know if Dodgy agrees. When there's a guy with good qualities, get time in the ball. The first thing you've got to deepen. You must deepen, and he's let they've left 8-9 yards for him to knock it into with the Bruce player to go and score the header. It's such a simple goal. And I know, listen, Rangers down to 10 men. For me, whether it would have happened if they'd kept 11 in the park, but Aaron's getting sent off, I think is key in it. Tom's right. I thought it just I'm not going to call it cowardice, but it was lazy. It was really lazy.
It's just dishonest. It's the act of a dishonest player. You pull the jersey and you opt out. You just opt out.
What do you think Raskin's thinking right now? On the bench in his home country.
I'll tell you.
He's delighted.
I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure he's delighted, but I bet Russell Martin will not ask him to go on. It's in Belgium. I mean, he's paid by Rangers. He should go on. But he's their best player. He's a Belgian international.
Who isn't starting?
What's he going to say to Nico Raskin? Go on and make a difference. You were, 7-8-1 down? I'm not sure.
I'd say if you're a Rangers fan now, A, obviously, you're going to be enraged. But B, I think, if you look at the big picture, they'd probably want Bruges to go on and make it 6, 7 and 8.
So the manager can't recover?
Because it's irrecoverable at that point. It's gone, the tie is gone, the embarrassment is set in. I would suspect some of them, maybe a lot of them, would want this to be a complete and utter catastrophe, even more of a catastrophe than it already is, so that the manager has nowhere to go.
Can I just say one quick thing? Hopefully Dodgy agrees with us, but see 2 guys you want in the team, or 3 guys you want in the team, even in a night like this when it's horrible, Raskin, Diamondi and Tavernier.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure Billy agrees with that. Do you know one thing I just want to point out? Because it's important when you're watching quality, and I thought this last week, Vanaken in the middle of the park, he is just an absolute joy.
He's a unit as well.
Oh, fantastic. Big lad, just running the show. So there are changes afoot out in Belgium, so let's get back to Billy Dodds and Andrew Petrie.
Thank you, Kenny. Yes, there are 3 changes for Rangers. Mohamed Diamonde, Nico Raskin and Finlay Curtis, the 19-year-old, have all been brought on. I'm just trying to see who's made way. An unbelievably damaging first half for Rangers. 5-0 down on the scoreline on the night. 8-1 on aggregate. I'm looking out there to see who has stayed inside. Joe Rothwell is certainly one of them. Asgard is another. And I'll find the third out very shortly from Billy Dodds, I'm sure, who has joined me out here in Bruges.
Is it Gassam who's gone?
It does look like Jedi Gassam is not there either. So we'll have confirmation of those substitutes just shortly as Club Bruges get ready to kick off the second half. Can they inflict more damage on Rangers? It might not seem possible, but we are just 2 goals away, 2 Club Bruges goals away from a record defeat for Rangers in all competition. They've never lost in a competitive game by more than 6 goals. So there you go, the confirmation. Rothwell, Asgard and Gassam went off for Raskin, Diamonde and Finlay Curtis. 3 changes there, Billy Dodds. What do you make of them?
I'm just looking at the setup just now. We'll see how it plays out, but they look as if they're going a back 5 with Finlay Curtis on the right hand side, wing back, McGoma on the left, and then the 3 centre halves, Tavernier, Suter and Giga, and then that leaves the 4. Danilo's there as a striker, but it looks as if they're going to play without a striker. That looks at Danilo might go up front, but he looks as if he's going to the left, so it is a real damage limitation. It's ways of attack, and it's a 5-4 formation.
There's also been a change for Club Bruges, and Jayden Meghoma will probably be quite happy about it. Carlos Forbes has gone off. He has been replaced by Mamadou Diakon, multi-million-pound signing from last week, who joined from Stade Reims. 19 years old, French winger. We'll see if he's any easier a customer for Jayden Meghoma to deal with. Remember, he's already on a booking. Club Bruges starting quickly. Joaquin says on the byline, trying to cut it across. Finlay Curtis able to get there and block behind. A big night to ask a 19-year-old to step in at right wing back. But Russell Martin has thrown him on. He's scored 3 goals this season for Rangers, but it will be all about his defensive work rate this evening as Rangers defend another corner. It's curled to the front post. It's bouncing around. Still a Club Bruges ball. Brilliant footwork from Stankovic. Gets it back to Christos Solis, who took the corner. Out to Diakon. Club Bruges just rework it. It's to the back post. Mekala's there. The header's off target though. But there's an early sign of intent. Club Bruges in the second half at Ibrox took their foot off the gas a little. They were quite content with 3-0. It doesn't look like they're quite content with 5-0, Billy.
No, there's no let up, that is for sure. But Rangers now, as I was talking to the boys at half time about reading where they are in the game, I think now Russell Martin and his team are 5-0 down in the night, 8-1 in aggregate, that he's now read the situation with this 5-4 formation, and it's like, look, have the ball, but we're going to put 2 lines there, and it's a training drill, and that's the way it is. You're just running waves of attack against it. Try and get through the half without losing a goal. It's as simple as that.
And I'm looking at the stats from half-time as well, Billy. 19 shots for Club Bruges in that first half, 11 of them on target. Now, I know Russell Martin spoke a few days ago. He wasn't happy that this stat of shots against Rangers was being brought up. He said there needed to be more context required. But if you're conceding 19 shots, 11 of which are on target in a game, surely it's only going to go one way.
Yeah, they're going to score at times, and as I said, you look at this half and you think, how are they going to keep them out now? He's done his job now by putting up the 2 banks, 5 and 4. So there's plenty of shots on target. There'll be more in this half. It's just about keeping a clean sheet for this half. Crazy to say, but it's 8-1 in aggregate. You've got to realise where you are, how embarrassing this is.
It really has been dreadful, dreadful stuff for Rangers. Not just one of their worst ever European nights, one of their worst ever nights in any game, as they try and play the ball out to the left hand side, and it's off target. And it will be a Club Brugge throw inside their own half. And home fans here, what a night they've enjoyed. They are grinning from ear to ear. And they'll want more from their side. And it's Hans Vanaken on the ball now on the halfway line. Rangers in those two banks at the moment. The ball out with Mamadou Diakon.
Looks as if a lot of the Rangers fans have disappeared from that section over there. You're probably thinking half of them from when they had the pyro display that have disappeared.
Well, this is lovely from Club Brugge again. Diakon into the box. He stays on his feet. The advantage still being played. Play will just go on. And it's Danilo who's there to try and defend against Diakon, who eventually goes to the floor, and it's not a free kick, but Club Brugge keep the ball anyway. Kyriana Saba, the 20-year-old right-back who's really impressed tonight, mopping up, and it's another Club Brugge patient attack as they try and pick a hole in this Rangers defence. They found plenty tonight. Stankovic with a chance, trying to slip it through to Diakon. Rangers giving the ball away again. Stankovic couldn't get the ball out of his feet. Lyle Cameron, the man, able to eventually clear, but schoolboy stuff from Rangers again there. Solis on the edge of the box. It's a little 1-2. It's worked back to Solis. He's in behind. There's the sixth. Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0. Rangers record defeat now equalled, and in dire threat of being bettered by Club Brugge tonight.
Even when they get the numbers here, it's just a 1-2 that's done them. Pretty basic. Brilliant play from Brugge against Solis. 1-2, clip into the far corner, 6-0. But Rangers with those numbers here should be tracking those runs.
And it's not just a Rangers defence. I've never seen a first team's defence quite as porous as this. Club Brugge trickling through them just at ease. It's so simple for them. They've cut them open again. Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0, 9-1 on aggregate. It's almost indescribable at times, Billy.
Yeah, you keep talking. It's tough. It is tough. I mean, they're really struggling, even when they've got this defensive set up now. But it's about basic things. Ian McCall was talking about it at half time. Like, well, not brilliant balls in the box, good balls, but they're getting done by them. Little 1-2s, not tracking runners. Even they've got a 5 and a 4 right along the edge of their box, and Brugge are still getting through them. Don't get me wrong, they have unbelievable quality. But if you track runners and you bump people and don't ball watch, they'll not get through you in this formation. Maybe once, and hopefully it is only this once in the second half, but you still feel as if there's more to come, because there is no let up from Brugge. They sniff blood.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how they get on in the Champions League proper. They look an unbelievable outfit. Of course, the early red card has made it easier for them tonight, but they look just as good at Ibrox. And they've got the ball on the right-hand side once more. Diakon whipping it back into Hans Vanaken. He seems to sometimes play it at a walking pace, but he just turns it on. He's able to pinpoint that attack and start that attack so quickly. And it's now with Joaquin Saez on the left-hand side. Vanaken, the ball out to Stankovic. Inside to Onyedika. Saba, again Club Brugge toying with Rangers. But Nasser Giga able to get the foot in this time. And it's just knocked back to Jonas Spaliers, the young centre-half, who's able to just knock it back into Onyedika, and the training exercise starts over again for Club Brugge. Vanaken, Solis was making a run, but he went to Saba on the right instead. Diakon still out there. Cuts onto his left, up against Meghoma, gets the ball into the front post. Giga heads away, Meghoma clears. It comes to Spaliers, and we go again. It's relentless from Club Brugge, but it's made easy for them by Rangers, who are occasionally stood still, stunned, punch drunk from this Club Brugge attack, as it comes out to Saba on the right-hand side. Diakon up against Meghoma. You worry for Meghoma, he's already on that yellow card. He's not put in any other rash challenges, but You never know what's going to happen with this Club Brugge team. They can turn it on in the blink of an eye. It's out to the right again with Saba. Whip to the front post. It was Nicolo Tresoldi who had the volley, trying to place it, but he was off target. He wasn't quite in line. But a chance for the 7th, and we've said it before, Club Brugge are not letting up here on Rangers.
Yeah, I thought Saba was going to just burst in behind that Rangers defence, and Vanaken was going to thread a little ball inside the wing back, Magoma. But he doesn't, he stays outside, but when he gets it, he doesn't think twice. I'm just getting out my feet and I'm just wrapping it in there. And Trezolis probably should have done better. He got the wrong contact and knocked it past the post, but just step up to that pace level when they want to. Slow, bang, quick, cross, chance.
Here's a damning indictment of how it's going for Rangers tonight. A Mexican wave has just come past the commentary gantry. Club Brugge really enjoying their night, enjoying every attack and every goal. Though I've rarely seen more from their side as it's clipped over to Joaquin Seys on the left. He's into the box, he cuts it across, it could be the chance for Vanaken. He lays it off to Tresoldi, comes back to Vanaken, dummy, he lays it back to Onyedika, who fires wide. And it's men against boys there. Hans Vanaken just toying with Rangers. He could have pulled the trigger whenever he wanted there, but he just took a little too long and laid it back. This could be anything, Billy.
I know. He's shown he's human, Vanaken, because it was a poor touch he took. I think he should be touching it, sticking it in the net, and it kind of bounced off him. But Seys again down the left, quality cross in, finds Vanaken, and that bad touch has let the chance go. They still had a strike at the end of it, but it was Sclaff wide.
And it will be a Rangers goal kick that Jack Butland is taking every second to launch up the field. The Mexican wave, I must say, has really gathered some momentum around us. I don't think the Rangers fans are joining in the far corner. It has been one of the most miserable nights in their history, and we're only at the 55-minute mark. It's Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0. If you're just joining us, it was that early red card that has allowed Club Brugge to tear Rangers apart here at the Jans Bredel Stadion. Lyle Cameron picking up the ball now for Rangers. They could launch an attack here. Mohamed Diamonde forward to Finlay Curtis. I think that's just about his first touch of the ball in an offensive nature. Diamonde to Danilo. Rangers have the ball on the edge of the Club Brugge box here. That hasn't happened for a long time. It hasn't happened in this second half yet. Mohamed Diamonde knocking it back to James Tavernier. Good touch away from Tresoldi. He drives towards the box. James Tavernier tries to slip it through to Danilo. It's blocked away, but comes back to Tavernier. Now Nicola Raskan to Lyle Cameron. Rangers finally enjoying some possession. I cannot tell you when they last had it. Nico Raskan coming forward, slips it to Danilo. Poor touch, could still drop for the Brazilian. Finlay Curtis is wide on the right. Danilo with the overhead kick from the edge of the box, straight into the hands of Simon Mignolet, who tries to launch the quick attack. Vanaken, Saba, forward to Diakon. Tresoldi and Solis are up in support. Diakon seemingly taking his time and then just knocks it back to Vanaken. Chipped over the top for Saba on the overlapping run. Back to Diakon now. Rangers have got men back. Vanaken, it looks lackadaisical at times, but it's so measured, so controlled, so much poise, and it's played out to the right. Saba, low ball across, looking for Tresoldi. Jack Butland gathering at the front post. Tresoldi has been a danger tonight. There is going to be a change for Club Brugge. I think that might be Hugo Sike. We'll have confirmation of that when he does enter the pitch. In fact, yes, it is the number 41. And Jack Butland, under a bit of pressure there from Tresoldi, had no options in front of him, and he has to launch it out on the right-hand side, straight out for a Club Brugge throw. It's been disastrous for Rangers tonight. And here are the two changes coming now. Joaquin Seys, 2 goals for the left back tonight. He is applauded from the pitch, and the other man coming off is the number 8, Christos Solis. So we're going to have those 2 changes for Club Brugge. Like I mentioned, Hugo Sike, one of them. He's normally a right back. We'll see where he slots in. And it looks like number 19, Gustav Nilsson, is going to come on. as well. He is a striker, and I'm sure Billy, as a striker, with the score at 6-0, he must be licking his lips at the minute.
You would think so, but some of the balls that are coming in the box and how they're working out to wide areas, and the crosses get fizzed in, slung in. Rangers make a sub as well. It's Danilo off, Barron on, so even more solid, try to nullify opportunities and certainly goals.
And he's a big imposing threat, Gustav Nilsson. Looks to tower over, he's with James Tavernier at the minute, and he's towering over him. He looks taller than John Suter and Nasser Giga as well. Another threat perhaps from the set pieces, as Diakon is now on the left. He runs away from Conor Barron, who's come on for Rangers. We'll bring you more information on that substitution shortly. As Saba, he underhit that pass. Nico Raskan was threatening to intercept it, but he didn't get his foot in time, and Rafael Onyedika was able to keep the ball for Club Brugge. The ball now with Hugo Sikwe, whips the cross in it, comes all the way to Mamadou Diakon on the far side, up against Barron. He's still got the ball and just lays it back to Alexander Stankovic, the former Inter Milan man, still playing in those traditional black and blue stripes. Signed for a couple million from Internazionale in the summer. The son of Dejan Stankovic. He scored his first goal for the club with that header, the 5th, just before half-time.
Finn Curtis has gone to that left-hand side of that midfield now. Diamandi out to the right, Barron, Raskan in the middle too, protecting that line of 5 at the back.
It was Danilo Pereira who came off for Rangers, so they are now playing without that striker. Clearly Russell Martin thinking that damage limitation not quite enough. He needs to be more protected. Gustav Nilsson into the box. It's a poor touch, and Jaden Mekhoma can try and take away, although he's fouled a man on the right hand side, and just for a little second I wondered if the referee might be tempted to go to his pocket. He's not. Jaden Mekhoma will stay on the pitch for the time being. Lyle Cameron is down on the edge of the box. He's being talked to by a couple of Rangers players, a couple of Club Brugge players as well. Back to his feet now. Incidentally, I don't think I've mentioned the referee, Felix Zweier. His only moments of note sending Max Aarons off in the opening 10 minutes, and it was one of the least controversial decisions you'll ever see from a referee. As the Club Brugge fans start this clapping chant, it's whipped to the back post. Gustav Nilsson heads it down. It's straight at Jack Butland, who collapses to his knees in the manner you might expect to see up the other end, with a side 6-0 up instead. He's trying to time waste to make sure this night doesn't become any more hurtful, any more damaging for Rangers. 6-0 on the scoreline after an hour.
There was the 2 subs on that occasion, Andrew, where CK take the free kick, finds Nilsson at the back post and got above his man, got the header on target, but straight at Butland.
I think it's just the first time since maybe about the half-hour mark that it's not been quite as relentless, the waves of attack, but the play's been stopped again. Lyle Cameron,
he's done. I
think he's done. He's sat down, stretching his calves. I don't think it's going to be cramp. I think he's just done. He's shaking his head as the physios come on to treat him, and of course Rangers have just one more change. Not that it's going to realistically make any difference to the scoreline. It could be Cyril Dessers, it could be Emmanuel Fernandez, another defender, Mikey Moore, Josh Gentles and young Xander Hutton there as well. It looks like Mikey Moore and Emmanuel Fernandez have been sent to warm up. Billy, I mean, is there a right answer to who you bring on now?
Looking at this scoreline and the formation, you would think another defender, just to try and stop giving away opportunities, chances, try to just cull the goals. I mean, it's an incredible position. I know it's 6, it could have been so much more. The amount of chances the boys were talking about at half time, hitting the crossbar a couple of times, Butland saves. Even this half, just the one goal so far, but a couple of opportunities as well. This is about doing everything you can, slowing it up, breaking up, giving away free kicks, standing over the ball, taking your time when you get possession. It's just so much needs to get into this, even to manage this last 28 minutes.
While Cameron is he's chatting to Russell Martin, he looks like he's going to do his best to try and continue. Mikey Moore and Emmanuel Fernandez called across there. Mikey Moore looks like he's getting stripped now. I just noticed Moore giving Fernandez a look here of oof.
There's no doubt that, I mean, Ian in the studio will tell you, there's some games you really look forward to getting on and you're winning the game and you think, I've got a couple of goals here, fancy it, get a bit of the ball. This is one game you think, oh my word, but test your character as well, so it can give you a steely determination at times, but you're going to have to be so focused. But it's not an enjoyable game to come on to, that is for sure.
And Billy, I think a lot of the talk before the game has been what if this trend continues for Russell Martin? What if he has a bad result tonight? What if it's a bad result in the Old Firm? What if they go out of the League Cup to Hibs? What if they don't get anything against Hearts? You know, that could have really put Russell Martin under even more strenuous pressure. But those questions have almost been taken out of the equation by the scoreline tonight. How bad is it for Russell Martin now?
Oh, it doesn't look good. But one thing I would say is I wouldn't even look as far as those Hearts-Hibs games. I would look at your next game. Get this out the way now and look at your next game, because there's going to have to be a big performance against Celtic, not just to get something, but just to try and get the fans to realise look, there's a chance.
Ball comes in, Jack Butland holds that cross again. Club Brugge starting to click back into gear. You think it's 66 minutes, Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0. A record equalling defeat on the European stage. They lost 6-0 to Real Madrid back in October 1963. They lost 7-1 to Liverpool not all that long ago, October 2022. And this certainly has the potential, with still plenty of time left on the clock, to be their worst ever night. Club Brugge are going to make another change. I think it looks like Kaye Furo, the number 87, who's going to come on and make his Club Brugge debut, is a striker. Won't be the news that Rangers fans want to hear another striker coming on, but maybe at least one of the current potent front line going off. Diakon, lovely little step over away from Barron, whips it low, Butland holds. Jack Butland manning the fort bravely at the moment, but again it's creaking at the back for Rangers in that 7th. Is there a sense of inevitability about it, Billy?
Well, you're hoping all these substitutions just help them play the game out now without any more damage. That was really good from Butland. He's been decent tonight. He's had to be. He's actually saved them from making it, as I said earlier, a cricket score, in terms of had a couple of saves, handled the ball well, cut out things at the near post, because Bruges, even though they are sending on some fringe players, they're still cutting them open at will.
Stankovic with the ball now on Yedika near the edge of the area. Vanaken just playing the bounce pass back out to CK. Vanaken slips it through for Nielsen with the shot straight at Jack Butland. Not enough power on it from Gustav Nilsson. He's had an interesting story to get here. Was playing in Sweden, down the leagues as well at times. He made his Sweden debut back in 2018. His third cap came 6 years later, scoring against Portugal just last year. He wasn't really prolific until the 21-22 season. He's in the box now. He can't get on the end of that cross. He was playing down in the 3rd division in Germany, scoring 14 and 31, and he was picked up by Union Saint-Gilloise, who clearly saw something in the data that season. Got his move to Belgium, kicked on there, and now he's joined Club Brugge, and he will be partnered in attack by number 87, Kaye Furo, who is replacing Nicolo Trizoldi, who got his first goal for Club Brugge tonight. It was the first goal of the evening after only 5 minutes. Club Brugge making that trademark fast start against Rangers, and Rangers conceding that trademark early goal as well. 6-0 on the scoreline, 67 minutes gone. I'm trying to remember what it is on aggregate at the moment. It's 9-1 now. It has been an unbelievably dreadful night for Rangers, and it's Club Brugge on the ball again. Alexander Stankovic just moseying into the Rangers half. The ball bouncing around the visitors. Mohamed Diamonde able to get his foot on the ball for the first time in a while. Plays it out to Jayden Meghoma. He's got Findlay Curtis ahead of him. Instead he turns back inside. Lyle Cameron still on the pitch at the moment as James Tavernier tries to take it away from Gustav Nilsson. Shows a good bit of pace, and it's a good pass to Mohamed Diamonde. Nico Raskan just takes a touch, comes back in field instead of going to the left. Connor Barron's made the run. I think he wanted the ball maybe slightly more centrally. Instead it goes behind for a goal kick, and Club Brugge just take it short. A little sign of life there from Rangers, Billy.
Yeah, I'm looking at ourselves. Barron now going wing back. It's that 5-4 again, with Diamande, Lyle Cameron, Nico Raskan and Finlay Curtis, out in that left hand side, and the five, and just trying to shift across the pitch, talk to one another, narrow the gaps, just don't lose any more. This is all about concentration for 21 minutes to go now.
It's Club Brugge who have the ball on the right hand side of the Rangers box. Worked back to Hans Vanaken. I don't think I've ever seen a number 10 dominate a game in the way Hans Vanaken has dominated it tonight. The Club Brugge captain. Stankovic urged to shoot. He goes for goal straight at Butland. Caught that sweetly, but it was right at the Rangers goalkeeper, and he punched the ball away. Some venom on the strike from Stankovic. The ball worked to Nielsen, tries the back heel to Kai Furo, the youngster, but it just comes through to Jack Butland. But another sign of what Club Brugge can do, and Butland again taking his time to go across and just collect the ball.
Tavernier did well there though, because when the dummy comes or they flick round the corner, Tavernier bumped his man Furo and made sure you're not getting it, because if he got a touch he was away and probably got a shot off. So it was good defending from James Tavernier.
Rangers trying to work the ball up the left hand side. Findlay Curtis had made the run. Of course, he's been one of the only real bright sparks in Rangers' season so far. Scored that equaliser against St Mirren at the weekend when his older teammates could not. Came on, reacted to a rebound from a corner, and with the aid of a deflection found the bottom corner and got what has ended up being an important point for Rangers and Russell Martin. They've drawn their opening 3 Scottish Premiership games 1-1. The worst start in the league for 36 years. And now they go back to Ibrox and have to welcome Celtic as Diacon tries to come away from Tavernier, goes down. It will be a Club Brugge free kick. That was a decent opportunity for Club Brugge to try and cut Rangers open again, but instead it's just the free kick, and it's taken very slowly as Kariana Saba, the right back, is withdrawn from the action, and he is replaced by Lint Odur, a youngster, a Belgian youngster from the Club Brugge Academy, who has made a couple of appearances so far this season. He's just signed a new long-term contract as well, a Belgian under-19 international, 21 years of age now. This is 12th appearance for the first team, and he takes the free kick that Club Brugge just knock around, and Rangers just inviting them on at the moment.
That's surreal, isn't it? I mean, they're just playing a bit of passing. It's like a passing drill in the middle of the park, and Rangers are just saying, we're waiting on you to get high up the pitch and actually on our 18-yard line.
The ball now out to the right hand side again. Jonas Spaliers, the centre half, has come up to whip it out to Hugo Sique on the right hand side. He was a player who showed plenty of early promise, had a loan spell at Cercle Bruges, in fact. They of course share the stadium with Club Brugge. He was signed by Freiburg in Germany for a lot of money, didn't quite work out there. Now he's back in Bruges and trying to get back into the first team as the hosts continue to knock the ball around with, as Billy said, surreal ease. It's Odur out to CK onto the left foot, clip ball in, deflects, and James Tavernier chests it down, tries to play it away. It's straight to Onyedika, takes the shot, it's blocked at close range, and a mistake there from the Rangers captain, unpunished. Odur gets it back, tries the 1-2 with Nilsson, and I've just seen a Club Brugge fan throw his hands into the air in frustration. His side 6-0 up, he wants more, as CK tries to intercept Jayden Meghoma's pass. Rangers just about keep it in play, and Finlay Curtis able to turn and drive forward. Lovely touch from the youngster, and he wins the free kick as well.
Some people are never happy, I mean, it's weird being here. I expected Rangers to go out. I didn't expect this, and then how they've handled it. They've got a bit better in organisation second half, but it's all come from, we talked about at the start of the programme with the boys, the philosophy. We talked about Rangers getting done at Dundee with Giga sent off. We talked about them getting cut open with Brugge, and then it's cost them tonight again with Aaron's having to go off because not the right position, the pull back, being caught high up the pitch. Everything about it is just, Rangers are getting caught playing this with this philosophy. They're not, and they don't look comfortable with it.
They certainly don't. They've lost the ball again. They try to get it up the right, then work it up the left with Curtis. Didn't come off, and now they're defending again. And it's Mamadou Diakon up against Connor Barron. 73 minutes gone. Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0, 9-1 on aggregate. The ball worked out at walking pace to the right hand side. Club Brugge just teasing Rangers at the moment. Vanaken slowly out to the left hand side with Diakon up against Barron, who's playing in that unfamiliar right wing back role at the moment. All hands to the pump for Rangers. Vanaken thinks about the shot, then goes for the pass, just plays the 1-2. There's room out on the right, but he swivels back inside. Brandon Makela, who scored that fantastic third goal at Ibrox, a rasping effort from the edge of the box. He's come up to join the attack. Lint O'Dour has come on, and he's playing centrally in that midfield now. It's Hugo Sique, whips it in. Giga missed it, and then Furo missed it in the middle. He caught the ball but missed the target. It went wide, but it was another good chance for 7, and it was Nasser Giga who just completely missed the ball at the front post. He
gets the right position this time, but then just misses the contact, and it's Bruce just passing the ball, getting it wide. Cross comes in with a lot of pace, you have to say, from Sika, and Furo, if he gets that one right and gets the contact right, Rangers are 7 down, but luckily he missed it.
And this is about as bad as it gets for Rangers. It will be 3 wins in 10 for Russell Martin in his early Rangers career. For Club Brugge this season, it will be their 8th win, as Lyle Cameron goes down again, and this could be another real problem for Rangers. They still have that substitution to make. I think Mikey Moore never actually came on.
He went to the Bruce player, tried to pull him up there, and it was as if, I'm really done this time, get me off. It was that kind of look about it.
He's being helped back to his feet now, and he turns around. Is he going to stay on? It looks like he's going to stay on, and he looks across to the bench, arms outstretched for a second. What do you want me to do here? He looks absolutely spent, Lyle Cameron.
I was thinking exactly that.
He's wiping the sweat from his face now. He looks completely dejected. These Rangers players, like I say, they'll have to be dragged off this pitch. It has been the worst night of their professional lives for some of them, as Diakon skips away from Barron into the box. The ball spins up into the air for Jack Butland. That could have gone anywhere. It was Gustav Nilsson sliding in, but Jack Butland thankful that the ball just spun up into his mitts, and Nasser Giga's now down for Rangers. Look, at this stage, 76 minutes, 6-0 down to Club Brugge. There might be an element of time wasting in it. Rangers can't afford anyone else to go off injured.
The Cameron one's a weird one. It's as if I was like you, he looked as if he was looking across at the bench saying, you really want me to stay on here? He's running with a limp. I noticed that. He's walking gingerly, and Giga now getting the old calf stretched. That was good play from Diakon down the left, leaves Connor Barron and fizzes in a shot or a cross that they get a touch on Nielsen, and it could have gone anywhere. It could have been a 7th, but luckily for Rangers it went straight into Jack Butland's arms.
And I think luckily for Rangers as well, Club Brugge, since they got that 6th, they've gone back down a couple of gears. They're coasting.
They brought on the subs, and there's a lot of young boys who were talking about coming on and getting a go, or a couple of appearances. So the disruption from them bringing on a lot of subs and giving people an opportunity is great, but it's kind of broken up the game, and that's been good for Rangers.
Well, the Jans Bredel Stadion looks like a Coldplay concert at the moment. Everyone's got their phones in the air, their torches on. Hopefully no one's caught on the kiss cam as Simon Mignolet just gets the ball back as Rangers punt it up the pitch.
Is that how low you're stooped now? You're talking about kiss cams instead of football.
I've run out of superlatives for
It's been a hard night even to keep concentration, because I've been taken aback with what's happened tonight. I'm like yourself, Andrew.
The ball down the right hand side for Club Brugge. Vanaken, the first time he's really broken into a sprint, curls in now. Jack Butland gets there. Gustav Nilsson was dangerous at the front post, but Butland able to gather. He looks out at his defence and he shrugs his shoulders. It's like he's got no confidence in the men in front of him, and they almost seem to have no confidence in themselves right now either, as James Tavernier is helped back to his feet by Nasir Giga. It's a Rangers throw. James Tavernier goes across to take it. I'm not seeing any options in white and blue that really want the ball. Nico Raskan makes the run. They just look forlorn out there. They look lost. They have been pulled apart as Mamadou Diakon picks up the ball. And again, Jens Bredel Stadion bursts into song as Sike picks the ball up on the right-hand side.
As much as there have been problems at Rangers for a while now, I don't think many of these players have faced a 6-0. Where do you go next? How do you manage through this next? Well, it was for 45 minutes at 5-0, and then when it goes 6, maybe for 40 minutes. There's tests galore out there for a lot of these players, even though they're at Rangers, because it's and they've had their problems, but it's like 6-0 down. Where do you go from here? What do you do within this game?
It's defensive duties again. Onyedika trying to find Gustav Nilsson with the straight ball through the middle, the angled pass, and it just goes out for a goal kick. I'm desperately searching for a silver lining for the Rangers fans that are still
because
listening.
there isn't one.
But hear me out. Say they somehow had turned this round tonight. Is this a sign of what champions?
Honestly, I'm not just saying this. I don't even think we can say this when it's 9-1 in aggregate. I know what you're thinking. I mean,
I'm searching desperately.
Yes, I know you are, and you're doing a very good job at it. But what?
Rangers goal kick. And then it comes out into the dugout. It will just be a Club Brugge throw. The ball just with Alexander Stankovic. It's not just two Scottish sides who have been chucked out the Champions League playoffs. They've faced embarrassing nights. It could be worse for Rangers. The ball still dribbling around in the box, eventually hacked clear on the 6-yard line. It was messy. It was messy in attack from Club Brugge that time, and it still almost came off for them. They've got the throw on the near side, high up the pitch on the left. I'm trying to see what's going on, but the Club Brugge fans are off their feet. It comes back to Stankovic now, more centrally. On the right again, Hugo Sike will chip this ball in, floats it to Nilsson. It was a defensive header, drops to Stankovic. That would have been some strike, but he just sliced it high and over the bar. Looked like one of my golf drives, that one, just way off into the right-hand side, and it's just a goal kick for Rangers.
But they're still going, and they're maybe not got as much quality on the pitch, but they just like slow, and then there's a bust, and then it's wide, and there's a cross, and then they nearly got a head on it. It's headed out the way. Eventually Rangers defend it pretty well, and Stankovic is just thinking of hitting that nice sweet half volley, but he doesn't catch it properly.
He certainly doesn't, but it's not dulled the spirits of the Club Brugge fans behind Jack Butland's goal. They're waving massive flags. They've been chanting all night. They've been applauding all night. It will be one of their favourite nights to look back on in years to come. And they will go into the Champions League proper, and I'm sure test some very, very big names in Europe. As the ball comes back to Butland, Kaifuro was trying to close it down. 82 minutes gone. Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0. Could be a chance in behind for Nico Raskan. It was just a long clearance up the pitch, and Raskan got to it first, and his first touch looked decent, his second just too heavy, and it came to Simon Mignolet, who was well off his line. A glimmer of hope, but a goal at this stage, it would have felt weird for Rangers to score now.
They would have taken off, but it just came from a Butland thumping it clear, and Raskan went to go after it and thought that's going out, and then he said, oh, that's staying in, I'll give it a chase, and then his first touch, he knew the big defender was a 1-on-1, took it in the way but overhit it.
Chance for Club Brugge. Gustav Nilsson's cross blocked by John Suter at the front post. Rinse and repeat for Club Brugge. What can they do from this set piece? We've not seen quite as many as we did in the first half. Their little playbook from the corners, so impressive, as Rangers' zonal marking was made to look rather silly. It will be Hugo Sique with the outswinger to the front post. Nilsson flicks on, just wide of that front post. They're getting closer and closer to a seventh, and it would be, I mean, 7-0 much more damaging than 6-0. I think maybe just in terms of the history books, yes, and in terms of that competitive record being broken, yes, there's also been a booking there, I think, for Gustav Nilsson. I'm trying to look at the TV screen to our right hand side to see what that was for. But Billy, would 7-0
the damage is done. I mean,
absolutely,
it's just rubbing salt in the wounds. They I mean, that corner there, they put 3 out to draw Rangers 2 out the zone, and then they just hit that front corner and they try to do Rangers again with just a quick one. Nilsson running to the front post, and luckily again he gets the connection wrong.
Well, similar to the first leg back in Ibrox, the damage really mostly done here in the first half, especially at the end of that first half as Club Brugge rocketed into the lead. Sique with the ball in. Diakon will keep that in the far corner. Up against Conor Barron, he falls to his knees, he's back up. Brandon Mekala is there for support. Diakon doesn't need him at the moment, but Conor Barron steals the ball away. Good play from the young Scot, who has lost his place in the Rangers team this season, and as a result lost his place in Steve Clarke's Scotland squad as well. He had an encouraging first year at Rangers. Billy obviously got that cap for Scotland as well. That was well merited, wasn't it?
Oh, it was. I really like him. He's a brilliant kid to coach. He's a sponge, as I was saying. He was learning all the time. I just feel as if his progress has been stunted now. He finds himself out of the team, but you can see he's still giving everything. A dream to work with the lad. I think he's really unlucky to be out the Rangers team.
You wonder what this scoreline and this performance will do to the future of some of these Rangers players. Russell Martin has said many times that this team will look very different in a few weeks. We're not sure who'll leave and who'll come in, but some players out there trying to show the mentality and the heart that wasn't on show in the first half. Conor Barron, one of them. The damage limitation has worked to some extent, as Toby Alderweireld, the former Spurs and Belgium defender, I think has been perhaps on COCOM's duty, but for Belgian TV, makes his way back down towards the pitch. It's Club Brugge throw on the near side. Brandon Mekala going to take it. 500 odd appearances, 501 appearances now for Club Brugge for Brandon Mekala, and this, I'm sure, one of his best nights, as Vanaken brings it forward again. He's kind of got the build of an Edin Dzeko type figure, but he plays further back and he just makes it.
He's elegant, isn't he?
Elegant is the word, yeah. He's made a run to the back post as the ball moves to the right. He's just lurking on that edge of the box. Nilsson with the back heel, trying to find Odor. Comes back to Nilsson. Furo makes the run. It's blocked by Nasser Giga. And Lint Odor takes the touch. Rangers once again on the edge of their own box, but Nasser Giga's down again, just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Emmanuel Fernandez is of course an option who could come on. He started the game against St Mirren at the weekend and was perhaps at fault for that Jonah Ayunga goal that had Rangers behind for so much of that game. I'm just having a look down at the bench. I can't see anything. I can't see Russell Martin. I think he's been firmly seated. But again, the physios don't come on, and there's ends up just being a hold-up in play rather than an injury stoppage. 87 minutes gone now. Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0, 9-1 on aggregate And that Danilo goal somehow looking more impressive, that Rangers actually did manage to trouble the scoreline back in Ibrox. They've barely had a sniff in this game. Max Aarons' early red card doing the damage before Club Brugge put them to the sword. And how, as Conor Barron steals the ball off Mamadou Diakon. It goes out for a throw-in. Sounds really strange to say, Billy, at half-time, if I'd said 6-0 at the end of the game.
I wouldn't be surprised that they've definitely taken not their foot off the gas, but they've made the subs. They're maybe not as much quality on the pitch for Bruges now, still good players, not created as many opportunities. Rangers have been more dogged because of set up at the 5-4, realised they read the room that they can't lose anymore. Here's a chance. So Vanaken
twisting, turning, twinkle toes from the big man, but he goes out to Mamadou Diakon, still in the box though, onto his right. Thinks about the shot, still thinking about the shot. Mohamed Diamonde steals it and then goes down, and that will be a Rangers free kick on the edge of the area. And James Tavernier will be very, very, very slow to take this. In fact, Jack Butland will take it instead as we trickle towards full time, and that away end over to our right hand side certainly not as buoyant as it was pre-match. That's quite the understatement, really. I'll be intrigued to see what the reaction is to the Rangers players. In fact, how the Rangers players react as well, because going across for that half-hearted applause,
I was thinking about
it's a tough ask.
It's a naughty one tonight, how they do, because they've not performed. They have they look a shadow of themselves. They look as if they're devoid of all confidence, and then the fans are at breaking point, and to go across to them is I think it'd be wise to just head down the tunnel tonight.
It's Onyedika who has the ball in the centre circle. Club Brugge just knocking it around. We've said it so many times, like a training exercise, as we hit the 90-minute mark, and we'll have no extra time, unsurprisingly. Felix Zweier blows his whistle, and most of the Jans Bredel Stadion rises to its feet. Rarely have they seen such an easy European night. It started quickly. Nicolo Trusoldi getting the goal early on that basically killed the tie off after about 5 minutes, and to make it worse, Max Aarons getting his red card shortly after. It took another 20 or so minutes for Club Brugge to make it worse. Hans Vanaken heading in a corner, and then they really laid it on thick. Two for the left back, Joaquin Says, both at the back post before Alexander Stankovic's header made it 5-0 before half time, and Rangers wanted the night to end there. And there is a half-hearted applause from John Souttar and Conor Barron, but they're barely getting out of the centre circle. They're not wanting to go any closer, really. In fact, they're trudging across now. Finlay Curtis there, James Tavernier, Lyle Cameron. I'm looking for Russell Martin and failing to see him. He might well be down there, but I failed to see much Rangers defending either. They were a little bit better in the second half, shut up shop slightly more, but there was a record equaling sixth from Christos Solis. A record equaling night for Rangers in any competitive fixture, let alone Europe. They've only been beaten by 6 goals on a handful of occasions. It's happened again tonight in Bruges. The nightmare goes on for Russell Martin, the dream from which they cannot wake up. And are the bells of Bruges tolling for the Rangers head coach? An unbelievably damaging, bruising and humiliating night comes to an end in Belgium. It finishes Club Brugge 6, Rangers 0.